But first tonight, Mumbai's Police Commissioner Rakesh Maria has ordered an investigation into the raids by the police at hotels in suburban Mumbai, where his force detained consenting adults for indecency. The probe comes after a huge backlash, with many attacking the police force for crossing the line and invading privacy. Well, did the police completely cross the line here, and is this turning into the moral police? Joining us on the program tonight from Mumbai, we have PS Pasricha, the former DGP of Maharashtra. Shaina NC will be joining us from the BJP. Anil Dharkar joins us this evening, and also Suhail Seth here in the studio with us. Mr. Pasricha, as a former DGP of the state, do you agree or endorse with this action taken by the police in Mumbai?
Well, to begin with, I must clarify that I am against moral policing. I don't recommend that the police has any authority for moral policing. However, if it violates the laws of the land, like SITA, Suppression of Immoral Traffic Act, where a lot of people have been using, bringing, call girls or through pimps, managing the things, that is a matter of concern.
But that wasn't the case here, sir. From all accounts and all reports, most of the people that were picked up and literally raided in those hotel rooms were consenting adults who were there. And therefore, do you believe that in this case, that the police has clearly crossed a line? And actually, I think the question many people are asking, shouldn't there be some kind of action against those police officials who were involved in this raid? It seems to have been completely over the top.
Ms. Rajda, I agree with you that in this particular case, which has caught the headlines, we must take action, and police has already initiated the inquiry against those defaulters, and police has held, as far as those few couples who are consenting adults and were confining their activities only within the rooms, they should not have been prosecuted or humiliated.
Well, you're saying that, and that's a good thing, I think, having been a former DGP of the state. But Suhail, what's really worrying is that you had young people, you had these people picked up, kept for hours at the police station, asked to call their parents, let off after they paid a certain amount of 1,200 rupees as a fine. And, they were just kept there for hours. I mean, obviously the police that did this, the force that did this, thought that it was perfectly okay.
See, the thing is that I don't think this is a country fit for civilized people to live in anymore. I know it sounds cynical. Where do the young people go? You can't eat beef. Someday this is banned. Someday something else is banned. You can't see movies that you want. You can't, go with your girlfriend or whoever the hell that person is to a hotel if you're an adult. I think it is brazen abuse of the law, and I agree with Dr. Pasricha. Unless these people are shamed, the people in power, it is no longer important to institute an inquiry. Rakesh Maria may have his heart in the right place, but those cops weren't acting on their own. There was a superior officer who had given them directions. He must be sacked. You cannot have the citizenry of India always worried, looking over their shoulders to see if they are violating no law, because there is no law which mandates that you can walk in and arrest. I mean, we can't meet people in our bedrooms. Where the hell do people want to go? And in the same country, in Karnataka, you have legislators watching porn. That's all right. But here are consenting adults doing whatever they are doing. We have no business to pry into their lives. But we have become a country that uses and abuses laws which don't even exist. And I can tell you, this was more out of extortion, out of bullying, and out of showing the lodges and the couples that they caught their place. You can't shame people. I would like the Supreme Court to actually take suo moto action and have these people hauled up for defamation, for invasion of privacy. Only then will we set a courageous example. Otherwise, you will have another cop in some other district in India or another city who will do the same thing.
Shaina, would you be willing to condemn this incident out and out as shameful conduct on the police's part?
Nidhi, if you allow me to just have my say, I agree with a lot of the points that Suhail and all of you have raised, but I want to also put to light how this entire case came about. There were repeated complaints by the locals in the area There were repeated complaints by lots of concerned parents where the children were using all kinds of substance and abuse, etc. There were repeated complaints by the MLA of the area who happens to belong to the Congress party and does not even belong to the BJP. Now, if the same complaints were repeatedly lodged and the police chose not to act, we would here be debating that how bad is it that the police does not act on complaints and investigations. The police decided to investigate on this issue and was able to bring to light that yes, there were cases of trafficking, there were cases of hoodlums who were actually using all kinds of substance even on the beach premise, which has not been reported by certain channels and certain media houses. However, the police also conceded that there were some overzealous cops who chose to, barge into rooms which was unacceptable, and that investigation will prove how they will be suspended without a question and doubt vis-a-vis the government. I think that you need to understand that Rakesh Maria and the Chief Minister have both said that an investigation is going to be carried out on this front. But also, Nidhi, look at the history of this, where a minor girl in the same area 3 to 4 years ago was raped so horrendously under this same facade of being in a private room of a hotel, and it was the same Mumbai police that saved that child. And I know that this case has been reported on multiple accounts, and we seem to have forgotten it today when we try to say, picture the police as the big bad cop. Yes, there are elements in the police force that need to be brought up and pulled up for wrongdoing.
What does one have to do with
the
other?
But at the same time, if there is an investigation,
what does one have to do with the other?
Where parents are
how can
concerned
they
and
pick up?
locals are
How can they
concerned,
pick up consent?
I think that
How
one
can they
needs to-
pick up consenting adults and tell those who were in college, for instance, a 19-year-old girl today says she's traumatized and is thinking of killing herself because of the way she was shamed in front of her parents, who are now not speaking to her, and that whole thing, the way it became a spectacle. You tell college students to call up their parents and ask them to pay a fine. You would have pretty much established within the first hour or so that these, there was no illegal activity that these consenting adults were doing. And yet the police, continue to behave in this way. They're overzealous because everybody wants to be the moral police now, right?
No. I want to counter Shaina on only
Nidhi,
one limited
can I
point.
just add it?
One minute, Shaina. The argument in parts is pernicious and flawed. Because there is molestation, now should people not have sex if they're consenting adults in the privacy of their homes or wherever the hell they choose to? I mean, it is ridiculous. One is a law and order issue. The other is abusing the law and abusing the powers that are vested in a local police authority. You cannot equate the two. Because there are incidents of criminality, you use crime, you handle crime in a different manner.
Okay,
you
so
can't equate the
Shaina,
two.
give me a second. Let me get Anil Dharkar into this. Anil Dharkar, do you believe as a citizen of Mumbai, are you satisfied that the police will inquire into the same police that conducted this raid in the way that it did? Do you believe it'll be fair? Or do you think that those who were involved actually need to be suspended first before any fair inquiry can take place? Is this enough?
I do believe in Rakesh Maria, and he's a very upright and able officer, and he's the head of police here. So if he has instituted an inquiry and he did it immediately, I'm very, very happy. I wish Shaina would not defend the indefensible. She seems to think that this is an attack on the BJP government. It is not. This is, if it was an attack on the BJP government, she comes as a spokesman for the BJP. It's her duty to defend it. But we are talking of something much wider. We are not talking of any political party. We are talking of the role that the police has to play in any state. Now, what is the role the police has to play? The role of the police has to keep law and order, basically, to prevent crime.
Correct.
And these are the parameters. It is not to invade into people's homes or to go into hotel rooms, because people have the right to privacy. And I think there's a well-established kind of law all over the world. It's not something unique to India. I would like to know, would these police go to the Oberoi Hotel or the Taj Hotel and raid the rooms there? They wouldn't. They go to these small places where they know people are vulnerable. Where people are vulnerable, and then they, take the action that they did. from here we need to go to a much bigger question. I don't think that Rakesh Maria should stop at this inquiry, because this kind of occurrence happens too often. I think there needs to be a complete overhaul of the training method of police. What is their primary duty? Does it include moral policing? And I think education of the police is what I would say is the first priority.